The Sarentu armor set is without doubt the absolute best set to craft to be ready for the endgame in Frontiers of Pandora. While it's pretty difficult to unlock and craft, it comes with insane stat bonuses everyone needs to have to become the apex predator in the game. Take out both wildlife and RDA with ease. And in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I've got you covered, as today I'm gonna show you how to get your hands on every single material to craft it with the absolute highest stat rolls possible. In other words, this is your ultimate hunting guide to find all the materials from both gatherables and wildlife, including Stormgliders and even Thanators. So yes, what are we waiting for? Let's get right to it. I quickly want to say that this video took an immense amount of time to document all the locations for these materials, share them with you guys, so it would be very much appreciated if you can take 1 second of your time, hit that like button to support the channel, and of course share your stat rolls or maybe places where you found things even faster in the comments down below to help the community. I think it goes without saying that before you can craft every single piece of the set, all the blueprints, you first have to unlock them, for which I already made another guide which you can find in the top right of the screen. This alone is already a true challenge, a lot of prep work before I was able to even start with this one, but hey, be sure to check it out, it's in the top right of the screen. Every set part comes with unique materials to hunt for, so we're gonna need a lot of those. That's why I'm gonna add timestamps in the description to make this guide as fast and efficient as possible for you guys. While I do recommend you to watch from beginning till the end, as I'm gonna give you plenty of tips and tricks throughout to maximize the efficiency of farming all these materials, get your hands on the absolute highest stat rolls possible. So let's farm all the materials and then start the crafting. Before we go on our hunting trip and farm every single material we need, I definitely recommend you to do a little bit of prep work. Especially for dealing a lot of damage, I recommend you to make any type of skewers, lean meat skewers with plus 50% wildlife damage, as these allow you to clean kill, one-shot all the wildlife in the game in combo with a heavy bow, so you can basically get the highest stat rolls possible from killing creatures. While you'll also want to combine pale fire seeds with any type of egg or mushroom to basically get your hands on an egg stir fry or a mushroom stir fry with the Nimble Gatherer tier 3, which basically boosts the core stats of any resource harvested by 20%, so you can get the absolute highest stat rolls possible. Again, my guide to unlock these dishes and also how you can prepare them super fast is in the top right of the screen, so be sure to check it out. So what I think is a nice combo of dishes with a total of 7 is to pick up 2 times a Novaus mushroom pie with that perfect gathering forager boost, 2 times any type of stir fry with 20% core stat boost when gathering, and also 3 lean meat skewers, as we're gonna need these to take out different creatures with only 1 shot for that clean kill, harvest all the items for this guide with the absolute maximum values. So yeah, let's begin with the crafts. First off, we have the Sarentu Headband, for which we're gonna need Exquisite Mudgem shells, rock orchid cones, and the cloud pine bark. The rare variant can be found in the Ensnared Lake, the northeast of the clouded forest, and best quality also when it's dry. Well, great news, it's dry right now, and the Ensnared Lake can be found right here. So let's quick travel to the Forest Giant Resistance Field Lab in the northern part, Cascading Stones of the Clouded Valley. Aha! There we go! That's our first target right there. So let's land the Ekran. But the easiest way to find them is basically to jump on top of these mushrooms. Pretty big mushrooms, which you can find exactly right here. So at the N and A of Ensnared Lake, if you're zoomed all the way into the letters, well, press and hold your Navi powers, and when you have it tracked in the top right of the screen, see, this is where you will find all sorts of these. We've got another one right here. I can't see the quality, but important, before we harvest it, first eat the Novaus mushroom pie, get that perfect gathering bonus with also Nimble Gatherer tier 2. But now, if we eat this, we replace it with tier 3, and here we go. Now we get a much higher quality. Gently pull to the right during the harvesting minigame, and this should give you a Mudgem shell of 120. Let's do that once again. I mean, I recommend you to take as many of these as possible since you are already here. Voila, another 120. Next up, we have the Rock Orchid Cone. Rare variants of the Rock Orchid can be found above the Ensnared Lake, so very close to where we're currently at. Amazing for this farm. Also northeast, of course, of the Clouded Forest. So above the Ensnared Lake, that basically means on top of these giant arches where you can also spot plenty of Ikran. And wow, man, look at the moon. It's beautiful. But yeah, this is where we should search for those orchids. Rock orchids, there we go. If we open up the map, this is where I found my first one. So let's land the Ikran. So they only pop up on rare occasions. So you have to be a little bit patient for this to happen. We have a full moon right now. So yeah, there we go. We can gather the plants. Gently pull towards you. This will result in a pristine harvest with a roll of 95. If you have your Nat-V powers ready, I mean, you can find plenty of them on the rocks. This is a green one. This one is also green. Ah, perfect. That's another exquisite one. I think after 2, we are done for this one. Voila. Exquisite quality, 95 once again, which is the absolute highest quality. While right now, we're going to fly towards the north, as this is where you can find the third material for the headband. So this is a super easy one to farm for, as everything is so close to each other. So we're currently in a pine tree forest. I think these are beautiful. And wow, we already found the material instantly. So let's quickly unpin the orchid. Right now we're after the cloud pine bark. Rare cloud pine bark is often found in the cluster pines biome, near the start of the fertile river in the cascading stones, in the north of the clouded forest. Toggle the biomes. See, we're currently in a cluster pines biome. You can find another one right there. I think, yeah, the Cascading Stones is an amazing location for this. But just a little bit northeast of the archery Nat-V camp, this is basically where I found mine. And this already instantly brings us to the precious cloud pine bark. This is only green quality, so we don't need it. But look in the distance how much yellow pops up. Ah, voila. Exquisite quality. To get a pristine harvest, gently push to the right with your controller or mouse, which results in a 95 exquisite harvest. Again, guys, you don't want to worry too much about that harvest moment, which should be during the night. The highest quality will automatically be there as long as you have the No Vows Mushroom Pie bonus active. Be sure to also pick up these silver pots, which you can find plenty on the trees themselves. I think 3 is going to be more than enough. Voila, another 95, 3 of the absolute highest quality. So now we can get back to the camp and craft ourselves that amazing headguard, the Sarentu Headband, with first, of course, one of the best Mudgem shells for that stealth boost, then the Rock Orchid Cone, and last but not least, the Cloud Pine Bark. Throw in all the highest quality stat rolls possible and you will get a beautiful 404 roll for the Sarentu Headband with all these stat bonuses, which I'm going to instantly equip because it's a major upgrade for me. These numbers, by the way, can only be achieved if you already have the Apex Memory Master Crafter in the Memories of the Maker tab unlocked. If you want to unlock it fast, I have a guide for it also in the tab right at the screen. Anyways, next up, we have the chest guard, the beautiful Sarentu chest guard. So let's pin the materials. We first need Sky Rock Moss. So for this, we're going to have to search on floating mountains above the Shadowwood in the southwest of the Kinglor Forest. So Kinglor Forest, southwest, Shadowwood. That is exactly where you need to go. Let's quick travel to the Solitude Resistance Field Lab Station. I think it's the best way to reach it quickly. You know what? I'm also going to do a little bit of resting at the camp. Pass some time because it's all that darkness and fog. I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of it. What is your favorite weather to hunt for materials in Frontiers of Pandora? Let us know in the comments down below. I mean, clear skies definitely make things so much easier. And I don't know, this just shows the full potential, all the beauty of Pandora has to offer. There are a couple floating mountains right above this oil facility, so be sure to not check those out for these materials as they will most likely be polluted. Instead, I recommend you to just fly to the very center of the Hallelujah Mountains. You have to search for the trees specifically, because that's where you will find the resource. Aha, look at that, jackpot. Gently pull to the right for a pristine harvest. And this should be level 58 for exquisite quality. We got a purple one right there, another purple one. And yes, more exquisites. Sweet exquisites. Voila, a second moss, also of level 58. And this is basically where I found it, very close to the Sarentu Totem. The last one, I think, which we found earlier, and the Ikran Gear Basket and Bellsprig. There are plenty of these mosses right here. So if you visit this place, there is a pretty high chance you will pick up some exquisite quality. Whee! Alright, let's move on to the next material, which are exquisite Viperwolf teeth. Highest quality with wildlife damage can be found in the Great Roots biome, also the Kinglor Forest. So if we quickly check out the map once again, go to the Silk Woods, toggle the biome map. Great Roots biome can be found very close to this Sunshine Valley lab, southwest of the Highloom Navi camp. You want to make sure you hunt for the mature variants with exquisite quality. Very important. Be sure to be in the right biome, otherwise you will most likely not come across the Viperwolves. And now I think the easiest way to find these is to press and hold your Navi powers. Ooh, look at that. Find some high quality ones right there already. So you want to search for these trails on the floor. That will usually indicate where exactly you can find the bad boys. They're currently hunting for one of those hexapedes. And look at that. That's Viperwolf mature. We've got another one showing up as mature. I think this is an amazing skill to pick up in the Hunter tab. Check this one out right here. Eye for quality. Navi senses now show a stronger highlight on veteran and mature animals. So that allows you to find these purple spots, which are basically the highest quality ones you want to hunt for. I think the easiest way to take them out would be to just be on your Ikran. Take out a bow and aim for that weak spot, which is in their necks. Unfortunately, I failed this time. I got a roll of 29, so if you also get that, I think the best way to reset the spawn of these fellas is to just get back to the Healing Sanctuary or this Sunshine Valley lab. The Healing Sanctuary is without doubt the best quick travel for this hunt, as all you need to do is pass a little bit of time at it and then travel into the woods on foot, as you will instantly get in the right zone. First take out the young Viper Wolves, as then it's going to be so much easier to narrow down, focus on the bigger mature ones to get a clean shot basically in their necks. So there we go, we just landed a clean shot. So that basically gives us the absolute highest stat roll possible, a 32 Viperwolf tooth. Anyways, last but not least, for this piece of armor, the chest, we need Stairfoot bark of exquisite quality. The rare variants can often be found amongst the Great Roots in the Rising Spires domain of the Kinglor Forest. This is a pretty tricky resource to get your hands on, as you're gonna have to search these Stairfoot trees with the giant mushrooms, basically jump from one to the next platform to possibly reach a location where you can pick up the bark. However, I was pretty unlucky with all the resources found, as every single one of them seemed to be superior. It also says best quality can be found during the night. So even though we have the Novaus mushroom pie with the perfect gathering boost always, even during the day, I do still recommend you to skip some time at a camp to basically make it nighttime, because then it seems there is a much higher chance for the exquisite variants to spawn in your region. If I quickly open up the map, this is where I'm currently at, a little bit north of the Crooked River, east of the Stone Refugee Camp. Zoom out a little bit, we are currently in the Rising Spires. If I toggle C for the biome map, this is where you want to be, the Great Roots biome, and search for these, pretty big trees. With the purple mushrooms, this is exactly the kind of stuff you're looking for. This is superior quality, that's another one. Ah, finally, Stairfoot bark, gently push to the right, and this should give us a pristine harvest. And it's nighttime, so don't worry too much about that quality once again. Got some more silver pots right here. So perfect, now we have all the materials ready to craft the chest guard. The Sarentu chest guard with the absolute highest quality materials possible. 58 Skyrock Moss, the 32 Viperwolf tooth of a mature one, and also the 46 Stairfoot bark. Combine all this and you will get a nice total amount of 176. This should be the highest roll. Be sure to share your rolls, by the way, in the comments down below so we can compare those for every single craft. But let's move on to the Armguard, the Sarentu Traveler Armguard, for which we're going to need different materials as well. The Soundblast Colossus Heavy Hide, Cloaked Panther Teeth, and some Bloodleaf Bark. I have an amazing location for Soundblast Colossi, as well as the Cloaked Panthers. We have to hunt for both of them, so I would recommend you to go to the Upper Plains, the Mother of Rivers, and search for the Resistance Field Lab in the very northern part of the Upper Plains, as this is the hunting grounds for Cloaked Panther. For press and hold our Navi powers, you should be able to track him down pretty quickly. I don't see any tracks right now, so what we're going to do is call in our Ikran. So we're just going to fly around a little bit. Every now and then use your Navi senses to search for those tracks. And look at that. We have plenty of Cloaked Panthers right here. This is a young one, another young, a regular one, and that's a mature. I mean, it looks mature. Got another one right there, level 11. So just like with the little doggies, you also want to take out all the weaker Cloaked Panthers and save the mature one for latest. There we go. With a longbow, clean kill in the neck. Now we can gather this one for the highest quality, which is 44. We also get some nice light hides for this, which you don't really need for these specific crafts. Next up, I wanted to go for the Bloodleaf Bark, but since we are already at this location, I also recommend you to fly a little bit towards the southeast to the Great Heart Lake, basically, as this is where you can also find plenty of Soundblast Colossi, which are also needed for this craft. Look at that. We already have our first one right here. Unfortunately, this is a young variant, so we don't need it. So you're just going to keep searching. We've got another one right there. If you want to have a clean shot on these fellas, you want to aim for the bottom of the neck, as you can see right there. So this is a regular one. I mean, it does come with exquisite quality, but we want to focus on this big fella right here. So we're going to wait for it to stand still. And there we go. That's another one. And another one. Yeah, be careful with the disharmony. I'm not really sure what it does, but this should give you the absolute highest quality Soundblast Colossus Heavy Hide. If we harvest it from a mature variant, sometimes you have to stand on top of them to make the harvesting work. But there we go. 83, which is an amazing roll. Again, to find this location, it's right below the first Zakru, this pretty big hill with also the Twisting Rivers camp. If you want to get there even faster, it's an amazing spot to hunt for all sorts of wildlife. Next up, we have the Bloodleaf Bark, most commonly found on bloodleaf trees, obviously, and the rare variants near the Celebration Arches, also in the Upper Plains. I have an amazing location for this as well. So what you want to do is travel to the southern part of the Upper Plains. This is where you will find the Celebration Valley. If we zoom in, Celebration Arches. Well, if we toggle your biome map, this is where you can find the Crimson Trees biome. Probably the best quick travel would be the Celebration Point Navi camp, as it instantly brings you inside the Crimson Trees biome. And yeah, this is where you want to be. Look out for these red trees, the bigger ones. Then you should be able to locate the Bloodleaf Bark. Look at that. That's already the first one, but you will find plenty more in the forest. If you gently pull to the right, you should be able to get an exquisite harvest with pristine quality. I mean, look at this one. That's already the first superior quality. Just follow the route to the top. That's another superior. I'm just going to jump and climb on top. And there we go. Another 63. We've got another one right here even. So be sure to keep your eyes open at all times, because you can find plenty of them in no time. So let's get back to the Celebration Point quick travel and craft the Armguard. So first, we're gonna throw in that Soundblast Colossus Heavy Hide of 83, the Cloaked Panther Tooth of 42, and the Bloodleaf Bark of 63. If you combine all these bad boys together, you should have a nice roll of 246. Again, share yours in the comments down below. I'm also going to instantly equip this one as it's much better in comparison with my previous one. Next up, we have the Sarentu Waistcloth, for which we're going to need Rain Thistle Fiber of exquisite quality, Stormglider Teeth, as well as Windbent Bark. For the Rain Thistle Fiber, you also want to travel to the upper plains. The rare variant can be found on top of the Great Tusk in the southeastern part of this region. I found a pretty amazing spot to hunt these as well, so you basically want to search for this camp, the Resistance Field Lab Cornerstone Station, or this one, the Big Shadow Station, in the east of the Celebration Valley, also at the Great Tusk, of course. Both camps will bring you right underneath the Great Tusk, which is this giant mountain filled with treasure. And you can even spot a Stormglider on top, which can make the farm even more efficient if you also tackle it in one shot during this trip. So let's first focus on that fiber. You don't have to be at the very top where you have the Stormglider. Instead, just check out this location where you have this wind gust. If I open up the map, this is basically where I'm flying above, right above the Way of the Diplomat Ancestor skill. But if you press and hold your Navi powers right here, this is where you should already be able to find some exquisite quality Rain Thistle. Look at that. That's our first plant already. Very important, this is one of the only resources in the entire game for which you do have to rest a couple times at a camp for heavy rain or a thunderstorm to pop up, as this plant only opens during these events. So get back to that camp, do some passing time, and then revisit the plant. See, now it is open. We can gather it with ease. Unfortunately, though, this is a superior quality one, so we need exquisite. Let's check this one out. Also superior. Right here, we have another superior. So, yeah, not much luck today. Wow, thank you. Finally, exquisite. For the perfect harvest, you want to gently pull to the top. In combination with the Novaus mushroom pie and, of course, the stir fry, which we ate earlier. So we got a 91, only have 1 minute left to harvest another. Look at that. So that gives us 3 of perfect quality. Now, let's move on to the Stormglider Tooth, for which you have to take out a Stormglider. And this, my friends, is pretty challenging, because it's not just taking out a Stormglider. We actually have to clean kill one, basically one-shot it in their lungs, which can be pretty challenging. I already have multiple guides for that, but basically a quick setup. My absolute recommendation would be to have a heavy bow of the highest roll possible. 384, which hits like a truck. It's going to make it a lot easier. Well, you also want to eat a different kind of snack right now, which is basically the skewer with plus 50% damage. Fury 3 will make hunting, RDA and wildlife so much easier. Trust me, guys, you want to have this snack with you at all times. Right now, though, we want to just fly to the top of the Great Tusk and place our Ikran on the floor. Fortunately, wasn't able to land that clean shot right there. We did get a merciful, though, with 2 hits. I think this is already an amazing quality to focus on. I mean, the quality difference is super small, and especially if you still lack the damage, it will be extremely difficult to get a one-shot on these fellas. Anyways, we get a 63 tooth, which is already pretty good, but of course we can do better. And in general, it's more of a patience game. You don't want to take him out as quick as possible. This usually ruins the kill. You just want to wait for the perfect moment to hit that, especially when it's shouting. That animation, I think, makes it very vulnerable. Ah, perfect. That's such satisfaction. Wait for their attack animation or the shouts, and this should be it. A level 19 Stormglider. If we now harvest it, we should get a horn of level 56, and the tooth, more important, 66. So now we have the Rain Thistle, the Stormglider Tooth. The final material we need is the Windbent bark. Most commonly found, of course, on Windbent trees, but the rare variant can be found in the wild purple steppe biome in the upper plains. When it's sheltered from the wind, but you don't want to worry too much about that. The funny thing is, there are different wild purple steppes. If you toggle the biome map, you can see that there is one right here to be found near the Shattered Bridge. Unfortunately, after a lot of time, I only managed to find common variants right here. So you don't want to focus on this location. Maybe I had a lot of bad luck, but instead what you want to do is go to this wild purple steppe biome, which you can find very close to this Stone Forest Field Lab station in the Stonehole zone in the northern part of the upper plains. And I think this is the best one. It's also filled with these Windbent trees. I think there's even a lot more than them. But let's quickly check it out. So this is the first tree. Let's quickly land our Ikran. When you have the material pinned at the top right, it will always display in yellow. So I really like that. This is a green one, unfortunately. So we're just going to keep searching. Keep your eyes open, by the way, because there might be more on one single tree. That's a purple one. So that's already a lot better in comparison to what we found earlier. And what's this? Looks like a common variant. Sometimes it's really difficult to pick these up. Oh, wait a second. It's also superior. So we're getting closer and closer to that exquisite material, ladies and gentlemen. But man, look at the sky. Such a beautiful place to hunt for this resource. It can take a very long time before it pops up. But here we go. Gently push to the left. Doesn't matter if it's not sheltered from the wind, as we have the Novaus Mushroom Pie. And the absolute highest roll, 63, will be yours. We've got another one right here. Let's quickly check it out. Okay, that's a green. Well, I've seen enough of these trees. So let's craft ourselves that nice Sarentu Waistband. So this one, first off, with the Rain Thistle, will give you 91 HP. With the Stormglider Tooth of the highest quality, that's another 66, and the 63 Windbent bark. Combine that, you will get yourself a sweet 285 roll with amazing stats, which we're going to instantly equip as well, because my previous one was much worse. Now we only have one more part left, the Sarentu ankle guards, for which we're going to need Boulderlands Thanator Lighthide, a pretty difficult creature to hunt for. Crimson bark found, I think, pretty close to this location, and also the Frilstem cones. So let's open up the map and hunt for that Boulderlands Thanator first. This one can be found near the Ensnared Lake. You want to search for this specific area, the Cluster Pines biome. There are plenty Thanators which you can hunt in the game, 4 in total, which are all pretty difficult to unlock. I already made a full guide for this, which you can find at the top right of the screen. But yes, this is one of those legendary creatures which we have to kill with a clean shot, just like we did with the Stormglider. So it's much more difficult in comparison with the previous kill. We only have one shot at this, so we're gonna have to make it count. If not, well, too bad. So if we drop in this area, we will instantly get that white border around our screen. So that basically means we are in Thanator territory. Let me quickly show it to you guys. And this is 100% the location for the Boulderlands Thanator. If we quickly inspect it, you want to shoot it in the weak spot, which is basically the lungs in the neck. Very important. Only then you will get that clean shot with the highest quality possible. So we're going to have to make it count. Don't take explosive arrows, get regular ones, and up the volume of your speakers, as you can basically hear it in the distance, slowly approaching you. Oh, yes, I can already see it. During the night, it might be even easier because of those particles. So now the art of clean killing the Thanator, much more difficult than you think. Again, you have to search for that small hitbox in the neck. And unfortunately, I failed. Good thing though, if you want to try again, you basically want to get yourself killed by this guy, as then you will have another try at it. I know it sounds a little bit brutal, but the other option would be to wait for its respawn, which can take much, much longer. So if you instantly want to get the absolute highest quality possible, just get yourself killed. Because if you die, get back to the location, you will have a new Thanator, reset entirely, back with a full HP bar on which you can try and land a clean shot. Even after like 20 tries, this is still going to be a million times faster, more efficient than first killing a non-clean kill, then waiting for it to respawn. Hover over it with your crosshairs and you will see red if it's close enough. Perfect. I mean, when it's walking, every now and then it will do a little bit of sniffing animation when it's a little bit looking to the sides. If we inspect it, you can see this beautiful quality. Wow. Be sure to grab it before nature takes it away, but that will give you the absolute highest stat rolls possible. 95 Thanator tooth and a 95 Thanator hide. If you want to see all the other Thanator locations, be sure to check out my video in the top right of the screen where I share more of these. Anyways, now that we've gotten this material, let's move on to the Crimson Bark. Can be found on braided crimson trees, exquisite quality on floating mountains above the Tangled Heart. Anyways, here we are at the Tangled Heart in the northwest of the Clouded Forest. I just discovered a Na'vi camp very close to it, which is called the Herbalist Keep. Be sure to use that one as quick travel because it's like right next to it. Anyways, fly to the very top of it and now you should inspect the tree for the quality. At the very center, you can even pick up a skill point from this Tarzu sapling. Very nice. But then you basically want to inspect the floor. I think this is the easiest to find the Crimson Bark of exquisite quality, as if you look at the tree, this once again just highlights the entire tree, and I find that pretty confusing. You could look at the edges of the tree. Sometimes then you can also spot the quality. See, we've got one right there. Wow, how am I supposed to gather this one? It's impossible. This is the exquisite one. That's a green. Okay, well, we can't be lucky always, right? Ah, sweet. A secondary Crimson Bark of exquisite quality. So 95 is the absolute highest. Be sure to pick that up. Last but not least, we have the Frilstem cones, most commonly found near the bottom of Frilstem trees. So you want to know what these trees look like. This is not a perfect image, but they are pretty big. They have these mushrooms covering the tree itself, found throughout the Clouded Forest, but most importantly in the Giant's Wilderness once again. If your progress is similar to mine and you still have pollution in the Weary Swamp, you should just go to the north of it, as this is also Giant's Wilderness. But now we want to find those Frilstem trees. And look at that. This is what these fellas look like. Frilstem tree. Only have to go to the bottom right now. We even have a Bonehelm Rhino right here. Let's see. This is a young one, so I'm just gonna leave it be. Where are them cones at? Look at that. Sweet. If I open up the map, this is the exact location where I found the tree, right at the border of the White Moss Forest biome. But this would be your place to quickly get your hands on at least one of these cones. I mean, this is the first one. We've got another one right there. And yeah, there is more to be found on this tree if we just run around it for a second. See? Another one. Anyways, now we have everything to craft the final piece, the ankle guard of the Sarentu set. First off, the Boulderlands Thanator light height of a clean kill with 95. Then we have 95 Crimson Bark as well, and that nice 95 Frilstem cone. If we throw all pieces together, we don't get 505, but 371 as total roll, which completes the set entirely. But yeah, now you should literally look like this. The full Sarentu set. Oh wow, my character is looking so cheesy. But that is basically it. How you get your hands on every single material of the highest quality possible to craft the full Sarentu set. Be more than ready for the end game in Frontiers of Pandora. If you found this video helpful, it would be very much appreciated if you can spare 1 second of your time and hit that like button to support the channel and of course help other people to find this guide. It would be awesome to hear your stats in the comments down below. Be sure to share them. And yes guys, be welcome all the Discord. We have a community with thousands of members if you want to continue the discussion for this game and many others. Be sure to stay in the loop with future videos by subscribing, as a lot more Frontiers of Pandora is coming your way. Right now though, it's 4 AM out. I want to wish you an amazing day. I'll catch you in the next video or live stream. Peace.